I'm going to start off today with an acquisition I am just thrilled about. I am Gabie of Gabie's Knit Goodies, and I hope you guys have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and are ready to talk knitting with me. I made myself a frothy, foamy cappuccino, I guess you could say, in one of my favorite mugs. It's a salt-fired piece of pottery, handmade pottery that I got a few years ago as a gift on Etsy, but I've lost the maker of it, sadly. But it's amazing, and so is my coffee. Now, frothy coffee may not be the best thing to drink during a podcast. Could be embarrassing. But it tastes so good. And I sprinkle cinnamon on top. It's delicious. So, I'm not sure if I've said my name. My name is Gabie. This is Gabie's Knit Goodies, and I love to knit, and I'm a part-time knitwear designer, as well as a mom of 3 and homeschooler and a wife. So I have a few things going on in my life. You can find me on Instagram at Gabie's Goodies and on Ravelry at the same, and I'm also on loveknitting.com. But I'm struggling to keep up everything nice and active, but I'm doing my best. We also have a Ravelry group on Ravelry under Gabie's Knit Goodies on there that you guys can join. I post my show notes on there, and you can always ask me anything, or I also run my tests through there, so if there's anything that you're interested in testing that I bring up, hopefully I'll have something to test before too long. I haven't had a lot of pattern writing time, but you can go on there and volunteer as a tester, and that would be great. So anyways, to the yarn. Acquisition is this beautiful array of yarn. Isn't that lovely? I think it's just the most beautiful thing ever. This is better than a bouquet of flowers any day. So I got this from KnitPicks, and there are 7 different colors, and I had a gift card from actually last year's birthday that I finally used, and I searched and tried to figure out what to get, because I didn't have necessarily a pattern in mind, but I just wanted to use the gift card and get some new yarn. So I ended up deciding to go with Hawthorne yarn on KnitPicks, because my Sunset Highway sweater I made out of the Hawthorne yarn, and it wears really, really well. It's not quite as soft as some of the yarns, because it's a Superwash fine Highland wool. It's 80/20 with polyamide. Anyways, so it's not quite as soft as, say, a 100% merino or something like that. However, it has worn so well in my Sunset Highway that I wanted to use it again. Plus, I love their colors. They have all kinds of good stuff. So I searched and I couldn't figure out which colors I wanted, and then I saw that they had these kits, or not really a kit, but a set of yarn, and so it's slightly cheaper per skein if you get it all together. So that's why I got 7. And I think it's called like a fade or something like that. Let me see. Tidepool Fade Hawthorne Value Pack is what it's called. So again, Tidepool Fade. So the idea is that, like, Andrea Mallory's big, huge Find Your Fade shawl, I think that this could go with something like that because it has all of these different colors. So I'll start with the lightest one. It's a speckle. They only have one speckle in this kit. And this speckle is called tie-dye speckle. And Hawthorne yarn is a fingering weight yarn, 357 yards per 100 grams. Here's the info on it. So it's definitely tie-dye. It's kind of a cream off-white color as a base, and then it has all of these gorgeous specks in there. Super fun. This reminds me a lot of my Sunset Highway, the base of it, but that had more orange and it didn't have the blue in it. So we got that one. And then this one, I've never gotten the, what's it called? Is this multi? This is called Happy Valley, and it is a multi-sock yarn is what it says. So I'm not sure how this one's going to knit up. I'm guessing it's kind of going to be stripy in a way, because it has this nice bright corally color, but then it has like purpley greens and bluish in there too. So I think that's it's kind of cool. I'm very curious to see how this knits up. But you can see that some of the colors here are also in here. And this has blues, and so this one does too. Okay, so that's Happy Valley. And then we have, let's see, I'll go with this. I don't know, maybe this one. This one is Macadam, right there. And this is totally me, these colors. And it is a multi, they call it a multi. So it's got some browny gray and some turquoise and then some black in there too. So I love these colors. It would go well with all the black t-shirts I wear. It's kind of nice to be able to try all the different colors. I'm planning on using them either in one or two projects. Either one huge project, like a super long cardigan, I was thinking, or two sweaters. Maybe a short sleeve one and a long sleeve one. I don't know. I've been really debating. I'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so this is Kenton. And this one's all over light. I think that, let's see, it says multi-sock. That's what it is. It's beautiful too. This is very autumnal with the oranges, reds in there. And then this one is called Lents. It's a Hawthorne multi. This one has more purples in it. But hopefully you can see, like right here, it's kind of got that turquoisey greenish color in it. And so that really pulls in with this. So I can totally see how these things work together. Most of them anyways. And then this one is a Slabtown Hawthorne multi. This one's also very autumn-like to me. That's very like a burnt color, but it has a little bit of reddish and orange in there too. And then this one is Blackbird Kettle dye. So this one's not a multi. This one is a kettle. So there's one speckle and one kettle, and everything else is like a multicolored one. So this is, it's a kettle dye, so it's kind of like a tonal black. So it has blacks and grays in it. Which totally works with me too. So you can see how that goes well together too. The blacks in there. So the question is, what am I going to do with all this beautiful yarn? And I have no idea. Well, I have a lot of ideas. It's the opposite of no ideas. I have so many ideas. I will talk about my ideas for all of this maybe towards the end, so I can get into showing you guys what I've knit already, and then we can discuss what I'm going to knit. But it's so much fun. So much fun. I don't know. I love it. So what have I been knitting? I'm going to do what I'm wearing last because when I take off my hat, I can't ever get it back on right. And, okay. So this is a whip of mine, of course. I just started this. If I can get it right here. These are going to be, or this is going to be one of two twisted rib leg warmers, I believe. I will put the actual name down below. This is by Purlsohe. And I am holding together, I believe it calls for like a worsted weight. And it's a free pattern. I think it's on their website though. It's not like a Ravelry downloadable free pattern. Size 6 needles, so not super small. And I'm holding together two yarns. The West Yorkshire Spinner sock yarn in the Fairy Lights colorway. I made a pair of socks out of these for myself, and I still have a ton left, which is super awesome. This is so pretty, and it's Christmassy, but it's not just red and green. And it's blues and pinks in there. And I'm holding that together with mohair. And this is mohair that I have in my stash. It actually comes off of a big spool that my mom found, like a yard sale or thrift store or something like that. But it's pretty cool because it's free mohair. So can't get any better than that. It's not as soft as like KnitPicks or Rowan's kid mohair, but it's still nice. So like I said, I'm holding it together and it kind of blends these little stripes together a little bit, but you still get the striping, but it just makes it like a fuzzy stripe with a creaminess to it all over. And so you knit basically a ribbing and then you shift the ribbing over and knit some more, and you shift it over and knit some more. It's a very simple pattern, and it's just all over twisted rib. I need to read through the whole pattern, but I think it's all the same. Now the pattern, I believe, is for adults, and it calls for maybe 48 stitches, I think. I reduced it because I'm making these for one of my daughters. And so it's a 4-stitch repeat for the pattern, and so I reduced it by 8. So I'm knitting 40 stitches instead of the 48. So that reduces, I guess, 2 of the repeats. But as long as you keep your numbers correct in terms of how many stitches are in your repeat, and you don't mess up that, you can add or reduce as you need to for your size. So one last look. Very Christmassy, isn't it? I think it'll be fun. So that's that. West Yorkshire Spinners held with the mohair. My next work in progress is in this lovely basket. And this is of my own design. I have not written the pattern, and I'm not sure if I plan to write the pattern. Currently I've sort of written it up, handwritten it up, what I'm gonna do, and also my color work. Y'all can see that it's written in pencil on some graph paper. And I did some math to figure out my stitches. I did a swatch and all of that. As you can see, this is what I've done. So one of my repeats here, my pattern repeats, is 10 stitches long, and the other two are 8. So I had to find a number that would work for both of those and keep it right all the way around. So I cast on 200, which should give me around 24 inches around, which should be right for me. I did try on what I have so far last night, and I want this to be a long garment. So I tried it on my hips, which is the widest part of my top of me, and it fits fine, and it's not snug at all. And like when you pull it, there's plenty of positive ease. It's certainly not negative ease, but it's not, it doesn't sit like wide on my hips. It sits up next to my behind and my hips. Does that make sense? I don't know. So I'm a little unsure if I've made it smaller than I would like. I mean, it's not blocked, but it's 100% wool, non-superwash, so it may not actually like stretch out much. Even if it doesn't, I think it'll be fine. Just maybe not quite as wide as I was originally thinking it would be. And that could be because I'm doing color work, and maybe I didn't do my swatch quite as tight as I'm doing the actual garment. I don't know. But anyways, this is what I have so far. I am knitting this to go out west to Yellowstone, so that I can be warm and cozy and happy in my knitted garment out there. We're gonna go take a trip out there in February to visit friends and to see all the beautiful winter weather. I haven't been out there in the winter. I think we're gonna go dog sledding maybe, which would be really cool. And maybe some cross-country skiing, which would also be really cool. So this is what I have so far, like I said, and I really like the black and white. My yarn is the fisherman's wool. Bought it from Joann Fabrics, and Patton's 100% wool, also from Joann Fabrics. The fisherman wool I don't think comes in black, and I wanted a black with the, this is kind of a natural white, like a cream color. So it's going pretty well. The one thing that I'm not thrilled about is my hem. I didn't want to do a traditional hem with just a big ribbing. My sunlight's starting to come in funny. So I did a few rows of reverse stockinette, of purling here, so that it would curl under. And then I did, I think, only 3 rows of ribbing after that. I was hoping that that would be enough to make it lay flat, and I'm not sure it is, because it does want to pop up. Now once I block it, it might be okay, but again, this is non-superwash, which tends to do whatever it wants. I did reduce my needle size on the hem, but it looks like maybe I didn't do enough. Either I should have done more ribbing or reduce my needle size more. If worse comes to worse, I have a plan. So if I block it and it's still folding up like this, then I think I could always actually come in with some stitching and take it and fold it over. Let me show you this way. So I could take this edge and fold it under like this. You see this? And stitch it. And then that would force it to sit like that, which would be fine. It'll be fine either way. I am going to do something to make it stay down if it doesn't stay down on its own though. But like I said, it does fit to the body around my waist and behind. So that might actually help it lay flat. We'll see. And like I said, I want to make it long. And I also want to put those pockets in there. So I want it to sit all the way down here. This is my belly button here. And then this is like my hip bone right here. So I want it to go all the way down halfway or all the way down my bottom. So that I could wear it maybe even with leggings. And like I said, some pockets right here. So I have a lot of knitting to go, but it is worsted weight. So that goes a little faster. But I like it. I think it's turning out fun. I've never knit anything quite like this before. So we'll see how that goes. Let me know if you guys love this as I'm knitting it, and if anyone would like to test a pattern if I write it up. So if I have interest, then I might do it. If there's no interest, then there's no point. Let's see, I think that is all of my current knitting. I can talk about what I have on my head. This is the February hat. I think 2 podcasts ago I talked about all of my hat knitting for my family in Alaska. And I knit this one for my brother-in-law. It is the February hat from the Year of Hats by Kelborn Woolens. And this February hat, I can't remember exactly who the designer is, but I will definitely put it up here. And I did state it 2 podcasts ago, but now I forget who it was. One of them was Megan Babbins, I think, but I don't know if that was this one. So I'll have to look at it. It is a series of knits and purls and some slip stitches in there. And it just has, it's kind of like a sampler. It's a hat sampler. You start with a professional cast on, and I'll take it out so you guys can see. I think I talked about this a little bit before too. This was my first time doing a professional cast on, so that was fun to learn. And Kelborn Woolens has a tutorial on her website. So you do the crochet, you do your professional cast on, and then you knit basically a brim that will be twice the length of what you want. And then you take off that professional cast on, and you have live stitches that you knit together at the end of your brim. And I will be right back. My daughter has locked herself out of the house, I think. So my daughter, she was playing outside, and she saw that I was podcasting, and this was the only door that was open, unlocked. And so she was standing there with a pouty face on. This is my Wookie, my little dog. He was out there with her. Okay, back to the hat. So after you do your double thick brim, brim, you do a variety of stitch patterns. Some of them are just knits and purls, and some of them have slip stitches in there. I think that's about as complicated as it gets, is some slip stitches. And you reduce for the top, for the crown, and you're done. And I think last time I talked about this, I was worried about it being big enough for my brother-in-law. It fits me great, but I had my husband try it on, and it's plenty stretchy, and it totally fits him. Oh, and the wool for this is Patton's brand I bought it from Joy and Fabrics. So it's 100% wool, which will be good for Alaska. What do you think, Wookie? My kids always say I need to make him a hat. What do you think? Yeah, you don't like it? I think it looks good on him. Here, look at the camera, Wookie. Okay. Oh, yes, the only other thing I was going to say today is my potential plans for this yarn. So I'm going to pause it while I look up my ideas, and then I'll get right back to you. All right, so I was thinking about maybe splitting this up into 2 different groups. One with like 3 skeins and do a short sleeve one. I'm not sure which 3 I would do. These 2 maybe. I don't know, this would be a very fun shirt. And doing something like the, is it Velvet Core by Andrea Mowry? I think it uses a lot of slip stitches. Sorry for the glare there. In it. This lady says better to view. But it looks kind of cute in the process of knitting it. Might be kind of fun because it's using slip stitches, which is a little different for me. So that's one idea. Okay, so the other one I was thinking about is also Drea Renee Knits. It's called the Sparky Pullover. This is from her Instagram page. This is a colorwork sweater, even though it kind of looks similar to the slip stitch one, but it has that colorwork on the top, but then it has these cute little pockets. So it's I kind of like it. And I was thinking that I could do maybe my, like my darker ones on top. Maybe even these 2 on top. And then have like the background ones being another 2. I kind of like these 4 together. They're pretty. So I don't know. Or maybe I could even do like something like this in the background and then this in the foreground. We shall see what I end up doing. But those are 2 of my ideas. Let me know if you have good ideas for something like this. My other thought was just doing like a faded big cardigan. I don't really want to use all of this beautiful yarn that I paid a good amount of money for a big shawl, because I just don't feel like it would, I like doing garments better than that. But I was also thinking like a big cardigan might work, and I could fade the cardigan like dark to light, bottom to top, and have it be like a knee-length cardigan. But I haven't found a pattern for that. I think I could work out the fade by myself if I just had figured out the actual cardigan pattern. So anyways, if you guys have suggestions, I am always open to those. So please let me know. And also I was thinking about something new. If you guys are interested, I always put my email down below, and if you want to be featured on my show, whether it just be like a picture of what you've been knitting, or even doing like a live Zoom type thing. Well, I guess I wouldn't put it up live, but we could talk live, and I'd just record it and put, you know, snippets of that up, just to kind of, I liked when, who was it? Christy Glass Knits. She used to interview kind of your average normal knitter, and I really liked that. So if anybody's interested in being on my show, whether it's just a picture or just a picture of your knitting, or actually talking to me on the internet and doing the video chat thing and us putting that up, I would love to do that. So just hit me up in my email below, or yeah, I guess that's probably the best way to get in touch with me. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a wonderful fall, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. I want to show you guys my knitting sidekick. This is my podcast buddy. Hey, Wookie. You say hi. He's a good knitting buddy. He likes to sleep.